Now, the City of Ekurhuleni will this week on Friday host President Cyril Ramaphosa to launch the Changing Face of Tembisa campaign, which is aimed at improving service delivery in Ekurhuleni. This launch happens at a time when the city is experiencing serious service delivery challenges, including at times a lack of electricity. Well, in studio, I'm now joined by the Executive Mayor of the City of Ekurhuleni, Councillor Mzwandile Masina. Thanks very much for joining us and welcome to the program.
Thank you, much appreciated.
All right, so the Changing Face of Tembisa, big launch. What's the program about and what's it going to do?
Well, the President of the country and the African National Congress is coming to launch the ANC program called Tumamina in Tembisa. When the team came, we were busy with quite a number of projects in Tembisa. We are actually changing the face of Tembisa as a City of Ekurhuleni. We are rolling out quite a number of projects as we demonstrated in the report that we presented. For instance, if you were in Tembisa just a year ago, you'll see that the roads have expanded. We are rolling out the BRT. We are nearly completion of the BRT projects. Over the past 18 months, the City of Ekurhuleni has invested about 2 billion rand in Tembisa alone to try and deal with some of the backlogs of service delivery issues. We are aware that there is quite a number of challenges because in Tembisa, you know, the population has grown quite substantially over time. So we have to cope with some of the development in the area. For instance, in the township, the issue of backyard dwellers result in us being unable to fulfill our obligation with regard to waste removal in a manner that is normally planned, because instead of servicing one family, you have about 4 or 5 families staying in one service stand. So we're changing our approach to waste collection, for instance, but with regard to electricity as well, you know, instead of supplying 500,000 people that we know are from Tembisa, the number is growing every day. So it means we must, from time to time, upgrade our electrical infrastructure so that it can cope and so on. And you know that we have a number of informal settlements, including Vusumuzi, where there are challenges, but we now have secured pieces of land where we must intervene and assist and ensure that we create service sites for the people of Vusumuzi and elsewhere in the informal settlements. In Matelagufa, for instance, we've already started a program which delayed over time to build homes for those people of Matelagufa. Beautiful homes have been built in Clayville 45. Our people are now beginning to move to occupy those houses, and we are making progress. And we know that it's not quite easy, but those who want to score cheap political points, they'll always point to an extreme case other than to look at what we've been able to do.
So this electricity issue, I mean, you know, one reads about Ngala section and Katlehong being without electricity for over a month. What would have happened there?
Well, it's a very unfortunate situation that has taken time between ESCOM as well as the community of Ngala section. There's a disagreement about the connectivity of the split metering and so on. As a city, we've taken it upon ourselves. We've intervened. We've spoken to the leadership nationally to say ESCOM must assist us to resolve the problem, because now children are unable to go to school. Elderly are unable to store their medication. The clinics are closed and so on. So the situation is undesirable. We have met with the leadership of ESCOM. I was wishing that by the time I come on TV today, I would be announcing the solution that has been agreed. There was a meeting with the community today, which meeting did not yield positive results. And I'm hoping that by tomorrow, the problem will be solved and then a permanent solution will be found.
This time a year ago, the Auditor General came out with reports and he said, look, you know, some of these metros, some of these local municipalities, wasteful expenditure, they're not running the municipalities well. Ekurhuleni didn't escape that. What has happened since that report? Have things improved?
Well, our financial situation is much better than many other cities in the country, according to independent reports. There were audit findings, and they were having an Operation Clean Audit mechanism, and we have dealt with 66% of the issues that the AG has raised have been attended to by our institution, and we believe that come the end of our second financial year, I think things will look much better. And we're not worse off. There was a lot of areas where we had significantly improved in terms of financial management in the city.
All right, so there's this 27 million rand that was used to temporarily house over 500 families outside Germiston. Yet to date, there are no houses and also no money.
Yes, there was a project that was done by our Human Settlement Department, which project was interdicted by the private citizens, resulting in those structures. The structures were built, but they've since been looted by residents because we could not continuously, as we're going through court challenges, but we have since instituted an investigation so that we can find what has gone wrong in the particular project. But the shacks were built to move with an intention to move people who were actually living in the mine shafts because it was quite dangerous. But because of the court interdict and other issues, and including engaging communities, there were a lot of disagreement which resulted in the place being left vacant. But the city has now instituted investigations, and we believe that we'll deal with whatever wrongdoings that will come as a result of that.
All right. So people might say that the changing face of Tembisa, these are great initiatives. And the cynics might say, why now? Is it because we're in an election cycle? Where have you been all along? Why suddenly the urgency to deal with service delivery issues?
Look, when we came in 2016, we realized that there was a lot of underservice in most of the informal settlements and townships in the main. So we took a pro-poor stance, and then we said, for instance, one of the things what we wanted to do was to electrify all the informal settlements, because we had come to accept that we're not going to be able to eradicate all the informal settlement at the goal. As we speak now, all the informal settlement in Unimandela has been electrified, and the program is continuing. We are rolling out millions of rands to try and ensure that our people live decently, even if the time has not come. But equally, as I said, we have a program of service sites where we are helping people to have basic social amenities so that they can build their own homes. We also committed to build house. As we speak, Ekurhuleni is actually experiencing high level of construction as we speak towards the attainment of the 100,000 houses. So it is not for elections, it's to make sure that we attend to the issues that our communities have been raising over time, to say we too in the backyard dwellers in the informal settlement and other underserviced areas, we want service. So we're happy that the ANC has taken a decision that the president must come to Ekurhuleni so that we can showcase some of the projects. In fact, yesterday there was a launch from the national office. We showed them some of the innovative. There was a situation where people were being killed. They were crossing over the rail line. We built an underpass, a bridge, which now will help the community to connect, but also to save more lives. So these are the things that we are doing practically in Tembisa to make sure that the situation is much, much better. But I must say that the in-migration is causing a lot of problems generally in Gauteng.
Okay, and that's where we're going to leave it. Executive Mayor of the City of Ekurhuleni, Councillor Mzwandile Masina, it was a pleasure to talk to you, and we look forward to this launch on Friday. Thanks very much indeed.
Thank you, much appreciated.
All right, okay, that's where we're going to leave it for the time being.